Welcome back to Bastogne and turn 2 of Bastogne Screaming Eagles Under Siege. So let's move the turn track into turn 2. So there's a reminder hearing saying that the US player needs to do a team snafu roll. Yeah, and that is explained down here. It says roll once each turn starting on turn 2 in the US reinforcements phase, which is the phase we're in now. New snafu company arrives at entry hex I, and that is in Bastogne. These are limited to the countermix. Return dead snafu to the available pool. So we have quite a few in the pool, so we will roll a die. And that's a 5. A 5 says a 1 ad hoc company arrives. So I take one of these. Bastogne entry hex I is right here. So one more company is on the map. Okay, so let's just very quickly see what we can expect this turn for US forces. We are in the US reinforcement phase and in turn 2. And in the 101st Airborne Assembly area, all of these units will come on. So infantry and artillery in the assembly area. In addition, we will have some artillery in B or C entry area, and as well as F. Entry area B is right here, it's 1 hex, and entry area C is right here. So I can choose where the infantry, I can choose where the artillery will come on. So there will also be support here in F. They will come on 1 artillery unit here. Let's just quickly remind ourselves of the turn sequence again. We are now in the US player turn on turn 2, reinforcements. Then these reinforcements are available for marching, and there will be US barrage air units only, but there are no air units this turn. We'll skip that, then we'll move, combat and exploitation before the Germans go. So the 101st assembly area is right here, west of Bastogne. So I'm going to stack the units that arrived where I want them inside this area. It's going to take some time, so I'll do that off cam, and I will come back just after that to show you what I did. Okay, these are the units that will come on during the American reinforcement. So you can see it's quite a lot. Since I have no idea where the best spot would be to place them, I think I'm going to follow the historical placement and place the different regiments into the areas where they were at that time. Right, so the assembly area is packed with the different regiments in different stacks, and I can overstack on the first turn. I put them all on roads so they can road march, which is the phase we're going into now. So I'm going to try to deploy them around Bastogne to make a perimeter here. And this 506 will be deployed in proximity to Foy. So in the woods here, I guess, if I can get them there. So let's try. So this is the whole 506 regiment. It's on a road, or it's on a trail, so they get 3 points. So just showing how it works, I'm just taking Able Company. 1 point in Lucerne, where I changed from a trail to a road. 2 points. Going this direction, and I can actually branch off here with the 3rd point and make the units come all the way up to Cobru. Perhaps I should do that with some of these guys. Yeah, let's take 1st battalion. 3, yeah, so I can actually move the 2nd battalion. 1, 2, and 3. So for this artillery unit I choose entry area B, and I'm marching it in the road march phase down here for 1 point, entering long jumps, and then we can see the road, or the path changes into a road and back to a path again, so it actually is 1, 2 for the change and 3 for that change, and then marching through Monneville eastwards, ending up in the woods here so I can support the defense of Nouville. So as far as I can figure out historically, the 502nd was deployed here from Longchamps. Yeah, actually around Longchamps here, but I don't see any units coming from the north. So I'm not sure that's needed. Let's wait a little bit with the 502nd. So the engineers and the 327 were deployed around here. So I'll do that. So the 326 will move 1, 2 and 3 here, I think. The 322nd were deployed in different areas. The 3rd battalion was deployed west of Bastogne, then there was 1 battalion here, southwest, and 1 southeast of Bastogne. I can get a lot of units southeast. I think that's more sensible, perhaps. Then I can march off the 501st, and I want them facing the Germans arriving here. Margaret. Guess I could road march this out of Bastogne, just like 2 hexes like that. I think that should be allowed. So that I open up for a march here. 1, 2. Some artillery. All of these guys will probably need artillery support. Let's have one come up here and another one come here. Yep, and I have some more engineers, and actually I will have these guys just stay behind and move them in this direction in the road march phase. Actually move them all the way out here so they can block these victory routes. These guys will go down south. Artillery support. Okay, that leaves 502nd, which are deployed here in the north, which makes sense. I can see that on the turn order that the Germans will at some point come from this entry point here. So at least I'll move some battalions up there. And 3rd battalion will be 1 and 1 more battalion around Longchamps. Wow, that's amazing. And that's a lot of units. Next is the US barrage phase. If we had any airstrikes we could use them now, we don't, so we skip that. Then it's actually normal movement. So now I can move all the units from their initial position of the road march into more defensive positions. And I can even make ready for an assault. I will try to come adjacent to some units up here so that I can use my artillery. And I will see if I need to retreat some of the artillery from Longueville. Okay, down south here in Villeroux, I will just move these units out in defensive positions. Yeah, something like that. Trying to place them in the woods or in the cities. Preferably in the cities, but I want to be on the victory map, or no, sorry, I want to be on the victory routes, so I block them. Stretched pretty thin here, so let's hope there's not a big force that comes on here. It's not in turn 4, not until turn 4 anyway. So I forgot I have this unit as well. During the road march phase I would march him here, and during the movement phase, yeah, well, let's wait with that. So now I need to position the units here so that I can engage these guys with my artillery. Perhaps the one I don't know where to place, I will just keep them on the road so they are mobile. So I don't want to do too much, but this unit is quite weak, so I would like to take it out. So in order to protect my my artillery here, so I can try with this overrun attack. 5, 6. Yeah, I have more than enough movement points to do an overrun attack here. Let's resolve that straight away. I attack with 4 and they defend with 1, but they may be in the woods. Yes, and there's a stream, so that's a defensive factor of 2. So that's a 2-to-1 attack. 5. That's a terrible attack because the attacker loses 1 step. So nothing happened there, not good. And I can't go through here for an overrun on the mortar, or perhaps I can do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I can do that. Actually, I can run through here. They have a defense of 1, being in the woods, so that's 2. And I have a 3 in attack. So that's actually enough for a 2-to-1 attack as well. That's 1.5. And as 0.5 we will round up, so that's actually 2. Oh, that's a poor roll again. 3. The attacker loses 1 step, and the attacker only has 1 step, so he's out of here. That was not good at all. Perhaps I'm way too ambitious with these attacks. I may need the Germans to come to me instead of trying to take out the Germans. This guy can move a little bit out of the way of the actions. He has a range of 14, so... For the forces in Neuville, this guy I will get a little bit more down the road, perhaps. I don't know, I will try to get these units in a better defensive position. I have an entire regiment up here. I will just... I think that's it. And now it's combat, and I'm not going to initiate any combat actually, because my attack is so weak. So we'll just stay put and wait for the Germans. See how wise that is. And exploitation, and I'm not going to do anything in exploitation either, because the units are basically where I want them. So that means that we will end the US turn and enter the German player turn. And they will have some reinforcements. The Kampfgruppe Koch is coming on in area E. So this is where I placed Kampfgruppe Koch, and I put on, there's some 88s also a little bit further north on the road. So the basic idea is to open up here and smash through the defense here. So now the Germans can road march, and then there is movement. So during road march I'm just going to spread out the units. Yeah, so these guys only the 88s here only have a range of 2, so they need to get closer during movement. So let me see if I want to road march anything else. Okay, so I'm going to road march these guys off the railroad, but first I need to move these units. I will be stopping here. Yeah, I'm going to put some pressure on Bastogne. I'm going to yeah, so I'm road marching the bicycle infantry all the way down here. It has to stop. Hope this is possible to see, but I'm taking these submachine guns, moving them for 1 point. This X switching 2 points. I can actually move them all the way down to Bastogne. More than that, I can fill up. So that's a whole battalion of Germans now right outside of Bastogne. So this is between 501st and 502nd, so they... bad planning. So now for movement. So my idea was to get these units out of the way. Yeah. And also this, so that I can open up for movement and attack with these exploit capable units. So let's do that. So let's take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay, so the problem is that there's a stream here, and attacking across a stream halves the modifier, but I'm still going to do it. It's going to give me a 4.5 against 0.5 in the city, which is back to 1. That should be the same as 5 to 1. And a roll of 5. And on the 5-to-1 table, that is devastating. That's devastating. Defender loses 1 step and has to retreat 2. So they loses 1 step. That means they are out of here. And because they have to retreat 2, I should be able to take this position if I want to. Do I want to? Yes, I want to do that. So in order to help me a little bit, I'm going to just put a marker on this unit so I know it has moved. So you can get 10 points if you know what game this marker is from. Okay, so it's more movement. I want to pull this guy off the line. I'm moving this guy straight into the lion stand here, and I'm attacking this guy here in an overrun attack. That's 9 to 6. 9 is 1.5 times bigger than 6. That's on the 2-to-1 column. That's a difficult attack. 7. That's a good result. Its defender loses 1 step and retreats 1. And now we can see that the defender, he can't retreat. Both of these units here exert an enemy zone control into this hex. So for every hex it retreats into that is under an enemy zone of control, it has to lose 1 step. So that means that this unit is out of here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so I have plenty of movement, so I can attack this guy in an overrun attack. That's 9 to 6. That's on the 2-1 column again. But I think it went well. I got 9. So defender loses 1 step and have to retreat 2 steps. So the unit that was here could not retreat in any hex because all the hexes here are enemy zone control, so he's out of here, and I'm taking ground there with this attacking unit. So I'm doing a flanking maneuver now with these Panzer Grenadiers, but I'm going through this unit instead. 1, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and doing an overrun attack on this guy with a defensive value of 2, and I have a 6. That should be on the 3-to-1 column. Oh, that's 9. That sounds good. 3-to-1 column is way over here, and a 9. Yeah, defender 1, retreat 2. So he loses a step and has to retreat 2. I can retreat in this direction like that, and I can take his position and follow. Not sure if I need to film all of this, but I'm moving 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm overrunning the engineers here, which is in the woods. So they have 2 defense and I have 6. That should be a 3-to-1 column. That's a 10. You see some good rolling now. So that is defender loses 1 step and has to retreat 3, but these engineers only have 1 step, so they're out of here. Then I'm allowed to follow 3 steps, even though there are no units to follow. The reason is that I want to do the same thing with these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. 3-to-1 column again. Oi, 11. So these engineers don't stand a chance. So I'm going to change strategy a little bit with the filming because it's going to be too much detail. So I'm just going to do some actions and then I'm going to recapitulate what happened for the rest of the turn. Okay, so situation report after the German has finished the movement phase. So as we can see here in the long wheel, the Germans were able to break through the lines, and they are threatening to annihilate all of the Americans that are left here. So it seems hopeless to hold this position for the Americans. I think they have to fall back if they can. But still the Germans have their attack phase left, so it's going to be tough. I mean, Neuville on the other hand seems a little bit easier to defend for now. The US player has quite a lot of units up there, and the Germans are standing just outside of Neuville. They have set up an attack here on this unit here. If we zoom a little bit out of Neuville, we see that the US player has some reinforcements in the woods here and also down the road here. There was some fighting on the railroad line here and the German got stumped. He had to retreat. Situation looks bad east of Neuville for the US player as well. Not only is Longville probably lost, but it looks very difficult to keep the position here, at least in the middle here around Neff. As we saw during movement, the Germans exploited a weakness in the US defense line, so they used the roads and they are now just outside of Bastogne with a whole battalion. We need to remove the disorganized units from last round, all of them. And we do this of course because we now are going to have some more barrage and the US goes first. So let's mark their targets. So the 2 artillery units here, and mark the biggest threat, which is this attacking submachine gun. And the other one is going to attack the same submachine gun. Now this unit has an enemy adjacent, so we can only fire at that adjacent unit, which is of course it's going to do. Okay, so there's an artillery unit inside Bastogne as well with a range of 8. Why not just pick an infantry and fire? Let's see, where are the artillery? There is one here in the woods with a range of 14. Here. And this guy has a range of 8, so he will fire down into Bastogne. 2 artillery units here with a range of 8. Okay, so there's not, and he has a unit adjacent, so he has to fire at that unit. This guy here has a range of 12. He can fire here. Let's start resolving up here. So the barrage number is 2. The target is out in the open. That's a miss. So also remember to deducting ammunition because of the yellow artillery. Another one down here is firing at this unit inside a city of 3. That's a that's a super miss. 16 ammunition left. I have 2 more with a barrage number of 4, both of these units. On a 4 to 6 it kills 1 step, so it actually kills 1 step. And the unit becomes disorganized. Same procedure. That's a 3. That's a hit. And it's a kill also. Okay, nice shooting. Okay, now we have a unit here in Neuville that's been targeted, and this unit is in the woods. The barrage number is 4, that means I will hit on a 5. Oh no, it's a miss, unbelievable. Then there is these guys here. This artillery stinks. That was not a particularly effective round. With some step losses, but nothing too impressive. Got some disorganized units here and here. There's only 9 ammunition left for the American player. Yeah, so there's an 88 and a mortar, and it's 1, 2. The 88 is firing here at this unit in the woods. Barrage number is 2. That's a hit because he's in the woods. 88 will kill on a 5 and 6. It's a bit special. No, but it's disorganized. Then the mortar is firing a target just below. He has a barrage value of 3, and that's a hit. He needs a 6 to kill a step. Oh, look at that roll. Woohoo! That's a good mortar roll. Panzers here are reduced and disorganized. And neither one of these units here cost any ammunition, because they are white units and not yellow. The firing units, I mean, of course. So I have a yellow artillery here that is going to fire and spend 1 ammunition, and he's firing at this unit, which is not in the woods, he's out in the open. Barrage number of 4. That's a hit. It was a 4. And it's a yellow artillery, so it kills on a 4 to 6. And another 4. So not only does the infantry becomes disorganized, it's also reduced. Okay, so we have a mortar here now that has a range of 3. 1, 2, 3. That's an error, it can't target this unit, there's no adjacent unit here, so I'm not allowing that fire. But as we can see, there is another unit here with a range of 14. He's firing at this guy. It's in the woods. Barrage number is 4. That's a miss. The mortar here is going to fire. This disorganized unit is the spotter. I think that's allowed. This guy is in the woods. Barrage number is 2. That's a miss. This guy is in the open. Barrage number of 3. That's a miss. I got a 5. Only thing left now is this mortar that is firing inside Bastogne and something inside a city with a barrage number of 2, so he needs a 1 or else he'll miss. I did record that, but he got a 1, so he actually hit, but now he needs a 6. Almost. He's able to disorganize the unit inside Bastogne. That's a big achievement. Of course, there's going to be some combat up here. These 2 units are going to attack this disorganized guy in the woods. So he will have a defense value of 2 and they will attack with 18. Mark them as spent, and I'm going to roll on the 5 to 1 column, which is the best column I can use. That's a 6, and that's of course a defender loses 1 step and retreats 2. Let's check what unit this is, if it's still alive after this. No, it's only a 1-step unit. Great, then I'm going to attack this disorganized unit with a defensive value of 3 because it's in the woods but it's disorganized. And the attack value is going to be 1, 2, 5. 5 to 3 is a 2 to 1 on the 2 to 1 column. That's a very good result, that's a 9. No, it's a 10, and that is defender loses 1 step and retreats 2. It only has 1 step, so it's gone. No, I don't want to take position, I will just stand there. Okay, this guy is going to attack the artillery here, which is in the woods, so it has a defense value of 2. He attacks with 6 as a 3 to 1 column. It's a 7, and that's enough to take out this unit. Going to attack here as well, from all sides I think, why not? That's 9 to 6 actually, and that's on the 2 to 1 column. Another 10, defender 1 retreats 2, means that this unit is out of here as well. because it has only one step left, this submachine gun is coming up to take the position. Things are looking grim for the Americans. They have a disorganized unit here which is surrounded. It's probably in the woods. No, it's in the open. So its defensive value is only 1. And going to attack with these 2 units then. So that's more than 5. That's the best column you can get. 7, which means he loses 1 step. But he only has 1 step, so he is out of here. And this company is moving up. Ouch! I think we safely can say ouch. So the Germans has a chance to get a foothold in Bastogne because the defending unit here is only at 3 defensive value, and I'm attacking with, or the Germans are attacking with 3, 4, 4.5. That's actually enough to get that on the 2-to-1 column. It goes on 8. And 2-to-8 on a 2-to-1 column is that the defender loses 1 step and retreats 1 step. No, it loses 1 step and retreats 1 hex. That was a good attack. Okay, so it retreats 1 back. It's disorganized and there's an organized unit on top. And the submachine gun is, no, this one is coming in. Okay, Germans are in Bastogne. Whoa. Okay, only 1 battle left. This poor unit out in the open with a defensive value of 5 is attacked. How much is this? 12, 20. 5 to 20. That's on the 4-to-1 column. 5. Is that enough? It's 2, 3, 4, 5. Its defender loses 1 step, retreats 1. This unit up. Okay. Okay, so that was the attack phase. Yeah, I didn't think about the exploitation phase. So I probably could have positioned myself a little bit better. But during the attack phase now the entire defense of Longueville is being annihilated. They are out of the game. There's no Americans left here. The road is quite open to Bastogne. I don't see how they can stop the Germans now, because on these small roads here they would just march right into Bastogne. A little bit surprised. Okay, so during the exploitation phase we know that the units that are yellow or have a yellow background, they can move their entire movement and enter combat. But that's of course going to be a combat one-on-one, so to speak. These guys are in the open, so they have a defensive value of 3. It's worth attacking them. So I'm going to move this unit. He has a movement value of 14, so he has no problem getting here. And 6 to 3, it's a 2-to-1. Can't believe that the dices are hidden all the time. 8. Defender is reduced. So he's out of here. So what happens during the exploitation phase was that I moved a lot of units that was in Longueville. I moved them around Margaret, and also into Bastogne itself. Setting up an attack here now next round, and also more pushing these guys out of Bastogne. Oh, I forgot, the round is over, so I get a victory point. So that's 2 victory points for the German player. Whoa, hooray! The artillery is, he has quite a lot of artillery left, but the US player has not. He only has 9 artillery left, and there's no air support yet because it's still clouded. That was the play for this round. It's looking grim for the US player, really grim, except in Nouville. There was a major tactical blunder on this road here that allowed the Germans to march right on the doorstep of Bastogne, and they have taken some heavy losses, the US. Longueville is lost, and if the German player now moves the remaining troops in Longueville up to Nouville, I'm not sure the US player can withstand that. But he has a lot of forces in the woods here, so I don't know. So I hope to see you back soon for more Bastogne. Take care and thanks for watching.